Good evening once again. I'm Stephanie Ruhle. Russia's unprovoked invasion of Ukraine is now entering day 43. Officials there warn that Moscow appears to be escalating attacks in eastern Ukraine as strikes on the port city of Mariupol continue. The mayor there says over 5,000 civilians have been killed, including at least 210 children. More than 100,000 residents are still trapped there, and the Red Cross now suspending ongoing efforts to even try to enter the city. A senior U.S. defense official says there are no Russian forces around Kyiv, but warns that the city is still under threat. Meanwhile, we are learning more about Russia's brutal massacre just outside Kyiv. NBC's Richard Engel is in Ukraine with the latest. And again, we warn you, the images you are about to see are disturbing.
Their destroyed tanks are all that remains of Russia's occupation of the town of Borodyanka outside Kyiv. And the holes in the skyline, yawning gaps in rows of apartment buildings. Today, Ukrainian rescue workers weren't digging for survivors here. They were trying to recover bodies. Local officials believe hundreds of civilians, many of them women and children, were hiding in shelters beneath these buildings, entombed under the remains of their homes. Residents today came back to salvage mostly memories. Photos. Little else can be saved. In nearby Bucha, Russian troops killed civilians up close, shooting people in the head. In Borodyanka, most were killed by airstrikes, but as many or perhaps more civilians died here. Deliberately attacking civilians is a war crime, unless Russia can somehow prove these were military targets.
President Zelensky accusing Russia of now trying to hide evidence of potential war crimes, as Russia claims that what happened in Bucha, what you just saw on your screen, Russia's claiming it was faked. The U.S. responded today with new sanctions aimed at punishing Moscow, including banning new investment in Russia. Putin's 2 adult daughters were also sanctioned, along with other Russian elites. President Biden leaving no doubt about where his administration stands.
There's nothing less happening than major war crimes. We're going to keep raising the economic cost and ratchet up the pain for Putin and further increase Russia's economic isolation. Steps we've already taken are predicted to shrink Russia's gross domestic product by double digits this year alone. Just in 1 year, our sanctions are likely to wipe out the last 15 years of Russia's economic gains.
It comes as the Justice Department stopped a cyber attack by Russia and charged a Russian oligarch with violating sanctions.
It does not matter how far you sail your yacht. It does not matter how well you conceal your assets. It does not matter how cleverly you write your malware or hide your online activity. The Justice Department will use every available tool to find you.
The Attorney General also says U.S. prosecutors are working with investigators to gather evidence of Russian atrocities across Ukraine. Secretary of State Blinken told our own colleague, Andrea Mitchell, that the U.S. is committed to finding those responsible.
The wheels of accountability can move slowly, but they move. And someday, some way, somewhere, those who committed these crimes and those who ordered the crimes will be held accountable. But it takes time, and part of this is building the case, part of this is which we're doing, and others are doing.